So today we're looking at 7th benchmark review for slope. The first question we have says, which line has a slope equal to 1? This one is 0, so that's not it. And let's scroll down and look at the other ones here. B is undefined because it's going straight up and down here, so that's not it. And C, let's look at C. So we're looking for a rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. C looks like it works. And then let's look at the last one, D. Okay, D has a negative slope, so I know that that's not the correct answer. So C for this particular one was the correct answer. Let's go on down to 2. Which of the graphs has a slope of 1/3? So I'm going to look at this one and I'm going to say this one has a negative slope, so I know A is not right. B is still in, it has a positive slope. C has a positive slope, starts low on the left, increases to the right. So B and C are choices, possibilities, and D is out because it starts high on the left and works its way down. That's a negative slope. Okay, so I'm looking at either B or C. So looking at C, if I start here, this is a point where it crosses, and I go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. This one has a slope of 3 over 1. However, I'm looking for a slope that has 1 over 3. So let's go back up to B. Crosses here at an exact point, rise 1, run 1, 2, 3, rise 1, run 3. B is the correct answer choice for this one. Excuse me, number 3, what is the slope of the line on this graph? Alright, so looking here. Look for an exact point. I'm thinking that looks like 1. And that looks really close. Let's look here. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like what I did here, and I went down, so that's a negative. Start on the left and go to the right. So here to here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my rise. I went to the right, so it's positive. So I'm looking for a negative 5 over 6. So let's look at our choices here, and it looks like we could rule out we could rule out C and D pretty easily because it says it has a positive slope, and looking at this graph, it's going from the left down to the right. That's a negative slope. So we know it's either A or B. So you could rule it down to that 50-50 shot. Once you do get it back to where it was there. Once you count the rise from one point to the next point, you get negative 5 over 6, B. Alright, so let's look at the next question. 4. What is the slope of the line on this graph? So let's find a point where it crosses, and that looks like one right there. Let's see, let's get a brighter color. Can you see the orange there? Okay. And then let's follow this line until it looks like we get an exact point. That's close, but not quite. That one looks like it would work. So let's count now. Start with the one on the left. We know it's going to be a negative because it's starting high on the left, going down to the right. Count your rise first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I see a negative 5 there. And then from there, 1, 2, 3. 3 is positive because we went to the right. So I think A looks good. Now let's look at our other choices. These two are positive, so this one's out, and this one has the rise and the run upside down. So A is the correct answer choice for that one. Number 5, what is the slope of the line on this graph? Find an exact point. We know it's a proportion because it goes through the origin in a straight line. So follow this line until you find another exact point. And that looks like 1. That looks like 1. Okay, so any of those would work. If I start from here, start on the left. Count your rise first. That's 1. That space is 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. So my rise is 3 and I went up, so that's positive. Go to the right 1. So I have a 3 over 1, which I hope you know in simplest form is 3. So let's look for that in our choices. 3. Now you should be able to rule out A and B because it's starting low on the left, increasing to the right, should be a positive. So you should be able to narrow it down to C or D. Let's look at number 6. During the first part of Rita's trip, the rise of the road increased 2 feet. So that's a 2 feet for the rise. And the rise goes on top. For 10,000 feet of run. What is the slope of the road for the first part of Rita's trip? Simplify. This is 1 over 5,000. So is it a positive or a negative? It says it increased. So I would say that should be a positive 1 over 5,000. Number 7, what is the slope of the line on this graph? Let's look for an exact point. I'm thinking that looks like 1. I think that looks like 1. Okay, we got a couple. Wherever you start on the left. Alright, so rise here is 1, and we did go down there, so that's a negative 1. From here, 1, 2, 3. We went to the right, so that's positive. So the negative 1 rise over positive 3 run. Let's look and see what we can find that matches. And that would be B. Number 8. Annie was given 2 pieces of information and write the equation of the line. She knows the line crosses the y-axis at the point 0,5 and has a slope of -4. What is the equation of the line? We did some like these. We know that y equals mx plus b, m being the slope, b is the y-intercept. So y and x stay there. M is -4. So take out the slope, m variable, substitute -4 in for it. And then our y-intercept says that it crosses the y-axis at 5. So there it is. Now, which one matches that? I'm not seeing it yet. And it is D down here. D is the correct answer. Y equals -4x plus 5. Number 9, what is the slope of the line on this graph? Got lots of these. Looking for an exact point. That looks like 1 right there. Those get close, but not quite. That looks like another one right there. Alright, so start on the left. and count how many we went there. And that was a drop of 2. 1, 2 there. From here to there is a negative 2. From here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my rise was negative 2, my run was 5. So I'm looking for negative 2 over 5. And there we go. Which statement about the graph of y equals 3x plus 5 is correct? Line passes through the ordered pair 3, 14 and has a slope of 3 over 5. It does not have a slope of 3 over 5. The slope here is 3. So let's look at the rest of these choices. Alright, we can figure it out just from knowing what the slope is. Look here. This one says it has a slope of 3. This one says it has a slope of 5. That's wrong. This one says it has a slope of 5 over 3. This one's wrong. The only one that comes close is this. This is saying the y-intercept is 5. So when you go back and look, y-intercept is 5 right there. Right there. So that one is correct. And that was B. Yes, that was B. Alright, number 11. A ladder is leaning against the wall of a house. The top of the ladder is 20 feet above the ground. So if you need to draw yourself a little picture, here's a house, and here's a ladder. Okay, and it's saying the top of the ladder up here is 20 feet above the ground. So from here to here is 20 feet. The bottom of the ladder is 6 feet away from the house. So from here to here is 6. What is the slope of the ladder? Well, we go from 20 over 6 is the rise. 20 rise over 6, and that would be D. Number 12. What is the slope of this line? So an exact point looks like that would be here, maybe here. Yep, that looks like it works. Okay, so from here, rise is 1, 2, 3, and it's positive because we went up. To the right, we went 1. That's 3 over 1 as the rise over run. That simplifies to 3. And that would be D. Number 13, what is the slope of the line that contains the ordered pairs 2, 6 and 3, 9? This is where you do the y sub 2 minus the y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that's going to be 9 minus 6 over 3 minus 2. So that is 3 over 1 again. And that is 3. Number 14, what is the slope of the line graphed on the grid? We go from here, looks like a point, here, here. So we rise 1 and it went down, negative 1. And we run 1, 2, 3. That was a positive. So we're looking for a negative 1/3. And B is the correct answer choice there. Last one. We've got the graph below represents the cost of buying an insulated cup and different numbers of refills of soda at a convenience store. What is the slope of this line? So, looking for exact points. So, look here at the difference. From 3 to 4 is a difference of 1. And from 0 to 2 is a difference of 2. And that stays consistent all the way up. So rise 1, run 2, rise 1, run 2. Make sure on your x and y axis that it matches your scale. So I'm looking for a 1 to 2 ratio here. And I see that at B. That's all we have for our slope review quiz for our benchmark. Thanks for listening.